Okay, so we're just going to do a general tarot card reading for the full moon, October 1st, 2020. Happy full moon. It's in Aries. Aries is all about taking initiative, independence, drive forward, intuition, but intuition in the moment. So Aries is not one that uses that, self-exploration like Pisces, where they will ruminate, or like Cancer or Scorpio or Virgo, where they will ruminate and really think about things for a while. They are just more in that moment, gut instinct type of sign. And this moon in many ways is about using your gut instinct and learning when you have to seize the moment and how to seize passion and how to seize initiative and what is your passion and how to be independent and stand on your own 2 feet, because Aries is the most independent sign of the zodiac. So hello, you see my little surgical masks hanging up there? You gotta wear double masks on the train, it's high risk. So not in fresh air though, I like to breathe. But anyways, I digress. So the sun, I just split the deck and I look at the sun, and the sun is Aries. The sun is also Leo. It represents initiative, optimism, going forward. So let's just shuffle the cards and ask on the full moon, October 1st, 2020, what messages or secrets or intuitions or synchronicities does the full moon in Aries want to provide all of us who are watching this video and who will watch this video? Hi, Nimi Ray. Thank you for coming. Couldn't really read it at first. Sorry about that. I don't have my contacts in. Full moon messages for the Aries full moon. Okay, first card, Page of Cups reversed. Be wary of somebody who flatters a little too much, or who says things that are painted in a really nice way a little too much, but there's no real materialization after what they say. You must have the ability to explore within what is fact and what is fiction with this person, and that will lead you to greater balance. In the past, maybe you lost money over something, which held you back from going forward. In the future, I see an offer being made to you, and it will lead to a celebration. The bottom of the deck is the release of your frustrations will occur now. Middle of the deck is the 10 of Coins. Your payday or your good times are coming. Whether it's literal money in abundance or it's figurative, meaning your abundance, your happiness, your prosperity will come to you. It's whatever abundance is to you right now in your life. And what abundance are you looking for? In love, in money, in opportunities, in creative growth? What abundance are you looking for? That will be coming to you in the next month. 10 of Pentacles also represents the abundance in October, the 10th month. Release frustration and impulsivity. Have patience, because the downside and the negativity of Aries is the impulsivity and impatience. So while there's a good side, there's also a downside. So this moon is about passion, seizing things when we want to go forward, taking the opportunity and seizing it, seizing the day. But it's also about having patience and knowing not everything will happen overnight. Aries is the archetype of youth, of the child. And this archetype talks about impatience, optimism, naivete, and energy. So what parts of your life right now are you being naive in, or maybe you're not covering all your bases, and maybe there's somebody who They want something from you, but they say things in a nice way, but they're not actually doing anything. Who is that person? Are they a family member? Are they a possible lover or partner? Are they a coworker who takes advantage at work? You are going to be building and finding greater balance this month after the full moon. And we have another full moon on Samhain, on Halloween. Part of that means going within, exploring within, intuiting. Scorpio, Virgo energy, also Cancer, Pisces. Like the water signs, Virgo is like the only other sign that's kind of similar to them in that way, that they represent the hermit, intuition, self-exploration. So while you have this Aries energy influencing this moon in this month until the 31st, we also have to be wary of being too impulsive and too trusting, because Aries is also too trusting. So while Aries is all about bravado and confidence and passion, Aries can be far too trusting of the wrong people. So we have to be wary of that, especially if you're a fire sign. I see somebody actually coming in and making you an offer, whether it's for love or money or at work. And you can trust this person, but you have to be wary of the false flatterer or the one with the false words first. And you will be having a celebration by the end of the month. And it will be something to be happy about that will improve your life. Release this pain from the past. There's no need to hold on and ruminate and obsess over the details like Virgo, obsess over the feeling like Cancer and Scorpio. Release it. It's through the release of the negativity of the past you can accept the future good that's coming to you. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to go on to see what this full moon is in at the end of the month, because I didn't check that, to see what energies we're going to be shifting into after this moon. Okay. So the full moon is going to be in Taurus on October 31st. And Taurus represents materialism, grounding, and sure and steady, slow and steady wins the race. So Taurus is like air. Oh, my throat got dry all of a sudden. Excuse me. So Taurus is like Aries in the sense that they pursue success. They pursue that feeling of accomplishment. But there's a big difference between the two signs in the sense that Aries pursues success for ego, for passion, for drive, ambition, and impulsivity. Taurus does it for specifically financial security. Taurus has an extremely strong drive to be financially secure. So this is probably why we close out the end of the month surrounded by the Ten of Pentacles, or the pursuit of the Ten of Pentacles, because that is about materialism. Also happiness within the home and family, but it is coin. We're not talking about Ten of Cups. We're talking about Ten of Pentacles. It also represents that material gain. So we'll be moving from the impulsive, fiery Aries that lights a fire under your booty, and then moving into sure and steady, slow and steady wins the race. In the tortoise and the hare, Aries is the hare and Taurus is the tortoise. Just to give you an archetypal image. That's actually a perfect comparison between the two. So, not that the hare is bad. In that story, though, the tortoise did things differently, and in the end, it paid off for him. But the hare has significance too. They're inspired. They have fast movement. They seize the day. The tortoise is planning, slow and steady, right? There's also a lot of stubbornness, though, with Taurus, because it's also a bull archetypally. So, how can you seize the day? and have that attitude of que sera, right? Whatever will be, what will be. Carpe diem, seize the day. How can you have that attitude of Aries for this month while ensuring that security at the end of the month with Taurus? Or is it saying, what I feel that Spirit is saying is, this month is about going with the moment, going with the flow of energy and intuition and that insight you get right in that moment, that fiery, passionate, I don't think about things too much beforehand, Aries energy. And then allowing yourself to move into that quieter, slow and steady Taurus energy and the introspective Sun in Scorpio at the end of the month. Because right now the Sun's in Libra. We're trying to balance things out, you know, maybe socializing a bit more. And the moon is in Aries. So it's fire and air. The end of the month is earth and water. So it's slower. It's more introspective. So how are we going to use this last month to let our creative juices flow and see those people we wanted to see and make those connections we wanted to make before we go into that dark half of the year? Because Samhain, or Halloween, as many of you know who watch my channel, is originally an Irish-Scottish holiday. It is from ancient Scotland and Ireland, also Wales, and I believe northern France. I'm not positive on the northern France part. I know Celts lived there. I'm not sure if it's from there. So it's from the British Isles, and it's from Ireland. And it was taken over to the United States by Irish immigrants, because during that time, there were more Irish that brought it over than Scottish for whatever reason. Doesn't mean it's not from Scotland too, though. It was all about reverence for the dead and fear of the dead at the same time, and the ancestors. There were animal sacrifices done, etc., etc. Modern day white witches and Wiccans don't do any kind of sacrifice. We usually have food offerings or things like that, positive things, because it's with harm to none, right? That's the difference between Aleister Crowley and a Wiccan or a white witch. Aleister Crowley said, do what you will. Gerald Gardner's followers, who created Wicca, by the way, said, do what you will with harm to none. That's the major differentiation right there. So I want to get that straight in case there's going to be new people seeing this video, because sometimes I have a few new people come in and see these. So we are going into that very serious day of death, and not just death of ancestors and loved ones that we have lost. I have lost one recently, God rest his soul, and goddess. But we are going into a death of one part of the year into another. So the warm weather channeling into the cold weather. The leaves are falling and dying. And if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, you're going into Beltane, not Samhain. But these holidays were originally created in the Northern Hemisphere. So this is where we focus most. It's not to dismiss, it's just this is where they were created, in places in the Northern Hemisphere. So we're going into that recycling of life, the circle of life, going from one phase to the next, contemplation, introspection. But this is our last chance. I feel like that's what this is saying. This Aries and Libra energy, Libra sun, Aries moon, going then at the end of the month into the Taurus moon and the Scorpio sun, is saying, okay, hurry up. This is your last chance for that extroverted, expanded energy. Get the things that you had to get done. It's not that you're not going to be able to get things done after this month, but it's going to be more difficult. And I think that this is also aligning with what's going on politically and what's going on in the collective unconscious with the pandemic. Because whether or not the cases actually turn to deaths, and I don't want to focus on negativity, but I'm just saying this to illustrate a point. Whether or not these cases that are being reported in the media are going to turn into deaths, and they're not just accentuating cases now at this point, not deaths too, like they used to, we are probably going to have a return to some restrictions again. Now, do I think everything's going to entirely shut down worldwide again? No. Do I think people are going to have restrictions again? Yes. We're going to go through another cycle of that. And that goes along with the Scorpio Taurus energy of saving up your resources with Taurus, and the Scorpio of going within, introspecting, hermiting, which is like Virgo too, in a way. They just do it differently, Scorpio and Virgo. That's the introspective signs, and Cancer. Scorpio, Virgo, Cancer are the most introspective signs, I would say. All for different reasons, though. Taurus is, but they are more so like, they're just really hard workers. I've never seen anybody work as hard as a Taurus or be as like specific about how to work as a Taurus is. Maybe Capricorn. The Taurus is just, it's just work so much that they don't know when to stop. I think at a certain point, Capricorns do know when to stop. So it's like that energy of storing up and saving all the things for the winter and getting your like winter coat on, or your winter, you know, you're going to get your winter fat on if you eat a lot on the holidays. And storing that up and going into that introspective mood. But this is our last chance, like this month. It's like, hurry up and do those things you wanted to do. And especially with the pandemic looming over our heads and what could be happening in the colder months as people spend more time indoors. We're already starting to see the change in New York with upticks in certain neighborhoods. Upticks of cases, yes. Are they upticks of deaths? Not that I know of, but it really doesn't matter whether it's deaths or cases. The powers that be and those who are in control in government will still make the decisions the way they want to, and it will still affect our lives. So use this last month, Spirit is telling me, to make those connections you wanted to make, to do those things that you might not be able to do in the next few months, especially even if we didn't have a pandemic, when it gets too cold, right? You can only do so much when it gets really cold out. If you are in a cold environment, if you're like on the West Coast, if you're in the US or something, or you're down in South America and Central America, I have some viewers from there as well. Maybe that won't be a concern for you. But there also are different energies to different holidays and times of the year, even if the seasons don't change, you know? Because when you go into Christmas and Hanukkah, and you go into Kwanzaa and all those other holidays that are in the colder weather, even if it's not cold where you are, it's more time to focus on family, nuclear family, smaller groups of people. Whereas the fall months are very industrious and they're about doing and achieving, right? We're storing up for that celebratory time of the year with Sagittarius once we go in there, but also that introspective part beforehand. Scorpio is that last chance to start really going within and evaluating, what do I want to do different? How far have I come? Who am I? Am I the same person as I was before? Am I changing? How am I changing? Have my values and intentions changed? And Aries and Libra right before that are saying, no, 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 but we want to get this done and do that. And Libra's like, okay, we got to balance it a little bit. And Aries is like, I'm going to do this and I want to do that. And I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, right? So we're going into that almost like schizophrenic energy. Now, I shouldn't use that word. That's a mental health term. That erratic energy, but also that excited and happy energy of Aries, which is, you know, good and bad with every sign. And then the Libra wanting to balance it out and also keep those social ties and connections. Then it slowly eases into that go within, Scorpio. Save up all your resources, Taurus, for a rainy day, right? There's an emphasis also on saving money, I feel like, as well. Spending it wisely for things that you truly 100% want. And an emphasis on soul searching, of course, because that's always the energy of Samhain and the end of October, beginning of November with Scorpio season. But this moon is asking you, don't forget that there's still time. Don't forget to seize the day. And don't forget that when you follow your passion, you're almost never wrong. And passion will lead you to the answer. Whatever that passion may be, whether it's for a person, a thing, a job, a hobby, passion. Passion is the key word for this month until the 31st. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am going to be doing the Samhain readings. I still have some slots open. If you would like to get a Samhain reading, that is done on the 31st of October, and the readings and spells are uploaded by the 2nd of November. Samhain is 2 days, actually. It's the 31st and the 1st, the ancient festival. That's when it actually is. And they actually still have a big celebration of it in Scotland, which they do on those 2 days, by the way. Not sure about Ireland, but I know Scotland has one. I want to go so bad, but I can't this year. 2 days you have to give me to do it, and then it will be sent to you on the 2nd. And I ask that if you order for that day and you want that time slot, you can order an incantation, a spirit channeling, or a reading. For incantations, you can order 1 or more. There's no minimum. For readings and spirit channelings, you must order 2 questions at least. I will not take orders that are 1 question. You can also order for the rest of this month as well. But that specifically for the Samhain time slot, you need to make sure to tell me, because I had a lot of people at the last minute the last few years asking me and I couldn't fit them in. So if you wait too long, I won't be able to do it on those days. I'll have to do it a different day. It doesn't mean I won't ever be able to do it. It just won't be on those days. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to upload a video in the next hour on Patreon of the incantation for abundance channeling Aries energy tonight. So it'll be a demonstration of an abundance incantation, and while you're watching it, you may absorb some of the energy. And that will be on the Spiritual Truths tier, $5.99 on Patreon. That tier also includes all videos on the whole Patreon. The other 2 tiers, Royals is Royals only, $2. The other tier is current events only, $2. That won't include the spell. And current events talks about things with the pandemic and the government and what's going on with that. And it's kind of like independent journalism I do mixed in with card readings. I plan to actually do more journalistic pieces on that in the future. I'm having a lot of fun with that. And then the royal part of it is just, you know, royal readings and maybe ones I don't feel like posting on YouTube because I just don't. If it was all about the views, I would all the time, but I don't care to always post royal videos on my YouTube, so it's not only a royal channel. But I do. I also do royal videos on YouTube, but the ones on Patreon might be different topics that I didn't cover, or they might be a bit longer. It depends. So if you'd like to subscribe, go to Patreon. If you'd like any of my services, go to naomitarot.com. Thank you for watching, you guys. And I will talk to you later, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Bye.